Today we had our first really big scare with our neurodivergent 2-year-old.
I have been in the same position you're in, feeling the same emotions more than once. First of all, I want to get it out of the open that this is not your fault and you're a great parent. To illustrate that, I'm going to tell you what my husband told me the second time my son eloped. For those who are new, eloping is a behavior that a lot of caregivers and parents of neurodivergent children or individuals in general deal with. It basically means that they tend to wander, run off, dart away. The second time my son got out of the house, I blamed myself because I left the door unlocked. I came in, I had tons of stuff in my hands, I was in a rush, and I didn't lock the door. I was in a frenzy blaming myself, thinking, what could I do differently? What plan can I implement to make sure this doesn't happen again? And my husband was like, it's gonna happen again. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, you're human. It's the human condition to make mistakes once in a while. And I thought about it, and I'm like, damn, he's right. You know, what are the odds in the next 20 fucking years I make 0 mistakes as a parent? That's not gonna happen. But in that moment, what I didn't realize is that even though I left the door unlocked, my son still had a GPS tracker on, so really, he would have been okay. I didn't think about that in the moment. I was ready to call 911. I was panicking. But because of security layering, that's what I call it, he really would have been okay. Before I get into that, though, I just want to address this because I know a lot of people see these videos and they instantly become judgmental. Typically, this is people with no children, or specifically without neurodivergent children. The first time my son ran away, both my husband and I were outside, both of us. I bent down to put a chicken back in her coop, and he was gone. He traveled almost 2.5 miles in under 10 minutes. That's how fast he was running, and I'm sure he took shortcuts through the woods. I don't know, honestly. For context, an average person would probably take about 16 to 20 minutes to run 2.5 miles. Okay, so on to security layering. This is going to sound really overwhelming, but honestly, once you get used to it now, it's just a part of our lives, and it gives a lot of peace of mind. At first, I would have trouble falling asleep. I'd want to check the door a million times because I was terrified, what if I left it unlocked? The first thing we use and most important is called a GeoBit. It's a GPS tracker. So the pros, it's very affordable, it's very small, it has a separation alarm, and it has a runner mode. So in GPS, when you're tracking your kid, if they get away, they have a runner mode so you can keep up with them quicker. Cons, I don't really like the radius feature because the second time my son eloped, it didn't even let me know. He was in the neighbor's backyard, but they considered that in my home radius or zone. So that's a con. Sorry, my son has blackout curtains, but we have the Ring system and it's on all his windows and the doors. And we also have those really cheap Genie cameras set up. They work really well. This alarm was only like $15 or less, and it is one of the best alarms we've gotten. It's on his room door. It is so loud, and it's been like 6 or 7 months, and it's still working fantastically. So that way, as a human, if I make a mistake, it's